the sitting of rest. The sitting of rest. Who knows what the sitting of rest is? The sitting of rest. No?
So coming from the sajda,
Instead of going straight up, he would go back to the jalsa position, rest, then use his hands, which I'm going to get to in a minute. He would use his fist like tending dough, and he would go up into the qiyam. Okay? Every rakat that's going back into the qiyam, you do the sitting of the rest. So you do it in the first rakat and the third rakat. Instead of sitting in the second in the second rakat, after the second sajda you sit and you do the tashahhud. Right? So you stay in that position. But in the third rakat, you don't stay sitting down to do the tashahhud. You're going back into qiyam. But before you go back into qiyam, you do the sitting of rest. The baby pause. Not like you're doing the whole tashahhud, but just enough to pause, make a distinction that you're following the sunnah, and then come up. Inshallah. Does everybody understand the sitting of rest? I'm gonna read the hadith, inshallah. Next he would sit straight on his left foot upright until every bone returned to its position. This sitting is known as Jalsa al-Istiraha, the sitting of rest, by the scholars of fiqh. Shafi'i supported it, as did Imam Ahmed, and favored it more strongly, as is well known of him that he would insist on following sunnah which had nothing to contradict it. Imam Ahmed, in the most of Imam Ahmed, he said, I saw Abu Abdullah, i.e. Imam Ahmed, sometimes lean on his hands when standing up for the next rakat, using his hands, and sometimes sitting straight and then getting up. It was also the preference of Imam Ishaq bin Rahaywa, who said in Marwazi Musal, the example was set by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ of supporting himself with his hands when getting up, whether he was old or young. So then it said supporting oneself with his hands when he was rising up for the next ruku or next rakat. Next, he ﷺ would get up for the second rakat, supporting himself on the ground. Also, he would clench his fist during the prayer, supporting himself with his hands when getting up. Okay? It says Abu Ishaq with the faultless sanad, and its meaning is found in Bayhaqi with the Sahih Isnad. As for the hadith, he used to get up like an arrow, not supporting himself with his hands. This is a mawdu, fabricated hadith, and all narrations similar meaning are weak, not authentic.
now I'm going into the qiyam,
Right? But before I go, instead of going straight up, right, like some people do, they go straight up. The sunnah is that before you go up, is that you come back to the jalsa, pause for a minute, maybe take a breath, then use your fists. He would clench his fist, and he would support himself with his fist and push himself up, going into the next rakat. That goes back to who's leading the Salaah. Are they qualified to lead the Salaah? Okay? Once the person who's leading the Salaah, it's his responsibility to make sure that he takes care of the people behind him. If I know that I'm going to do the sit and the rest, and I know that the people behind me are going to do the sit and the rest, I must be considerate of that. If I'm the imam, I got to be considerate to babies crying. I got to be considerate to things going on. So I can't just sit there being in my own world and recite all the Surah Al-Baqarah because I feel like it. There's babies crying. People got to use the bathroom. People ready to eat. It's iftar and all kinds of stuff going on. So you got to be considerate. Okay? So we use our hands to come up. We use them. We clench our fists. This is a sunnah. The sitting the rest is a sunnah. Then we go back to the second rakat. We do the second rakat just like we did the first rakat. Rakat means unit. Because if you say Allahu Akbar, you're going to confuse the people behind you. You got to think for the people behind you. Right? Because a lot of people behind, there's some people, man, they move fast. They try to move before the Imam, they try to anticipate. Some people do that. You see them. Some of them do it. They try to race. He's getting ready to go down. I know he's going to go down. The Prophet Muhammad said, don't anticipate the Imam. Are you not afraid of your head returning back like a donkey? Your face is turned like a donkey trying to compete with the Imam. Don't compete with the Imam. Okay? So, alhamdulillah, this is what we have.